If you're having trouble finding this 2-pack, just head on over to Big Bad Toy Store. They have it in stock right now, so just click the link in the top of the description below. What is up guys, Arolf here, back again with another video. Today we'll be taking a look at the Marvel Studios The First 10 Years Marvel Legends Captain America Civil War, Captain America and Crossbones 2-pack. So let's get into it. So taking a look around the packaging, Marvel Studios up top. On the side you get a brief description from the film, so pause if you want to read that. On the bottom it says Legends Series number 9. On the side, some artwork with Civil War on the bottom. Poster on the back, Captain America Crossbones description, so pause if you want to read that. And on the bottom, UPC, scan it if you want it. Out now at BBTS and Target. And without further ado, let's get into it. Doing a mega comparison, here is Captain American Crossbones with Team Cap, Team Iron Man, a couple of the 10th anniversary 2-packs, Iron Man and a couple of villains, plus more villains, and more villains, and all the Captain Americas that I have in my collection. Now comparing the shields, as you could see, comparing it with the first Avengers, you could see it's much bigger than the first Avengers and the Winter Soldier right here. This has a different paint job to it and a different sculpt, mainly on the star itself, but it's basically the same mold, same material as well. And you can see that bright red metallic compared to the previous Civil War one. It's much more accurate. Really like this deep red and kind of a metallic blue. It's amazing, but it's just the same exact sculpt on the back, but on the front it's a little bit different. And for any other curious people, here's the Infinity War shield compared to the 10th anniversary shield, so pretty much the same size lengthwise. Now comparing the newest Chris Evans head sculpt, the Infinity War, to the actually latest Chris Evans head sculpt, which is this 10th anniversary. Very different. I feel like the 10th anniversary one is much more accurate. Looking at the noses here, you could see there is a little bump on the Infinity War one, and on the 10th anniversary there is also a bump. It just looks a little bit smoother. Little details right there, but you could see very different. It's not reused. Now quickly comparing these suits here, it's basically the same suit, just the color is a little bit different. It's a little bit more matted compared to this shiny plastic on the Civil War one. The 10th anniversary has a little bit more muted tones here on the torso area and on the star itself, but also one major difference is that head sculpt. You could also do some head swappings here, but the skin tones are a little bit off, so that's what it looks like. So that's the 10th anniversary on the Civil War one. Skin tone is different, and the blue is much darker and more matted compared to the shiny blue on the Civil War one. And if you want to see what it looks like with the Infinity War body on, it's too big. You might use a hairdryer, or you could use a hairdryer, or try to use a hairdryer to loosen that ball hole up, but just showing you what it could have looked like if you got that head attached on, and I think it looks perfect. And just showing you how big the peg holes are, you could see right there the Infinity War is slightly bigger. Here's also the 10th anniversary on the Age of Ultron, and what works best with the 10th anniversary is the Winter Soldier. It has the closest tone of blue to the 10th anniversary head sculpt. You can see it's just the 10th anniversary head sculpt color is a little bit darker compared to the lighter blue of the Winter Soldier body mold. Well, that was a lot to say. Hopefully you followed along, but yeah, it looks amazing. So moving over to the accessories here, they both come with head sculpts, unmasked head sculpts like I showed before in the beginning of the video. The Chris Evans head sculpt, really nice look or accuracy to Chris Evans. You can see the eyes here are kind of slanted downward, which is quite unfortunate. But yeah, looking around here, the hairpiece looks a little weird. It looks a little Minecraft blocky-ish. They did some sculpting details here and there, added some highlights to make it look like there's a little bit of sculpt, I guess, illusion of hair, but it looks a little blocky. It looks a little too, I don't know, smooth. And I also have another one. I bought 2 of these 2-packs for this Chris Evans head sculpt. You can see right there, just showing you the difference or the quality control between each 2-pack. So taking a look at this Crossbones head sculpt, really good likeness to Frank Grillo, as we see him about to, spoiler alert, kill himself in the beginning of the movie. You can see the hair pieces right there. This hair piece is much nicer because it's actually sculpted, unlike the Captain America one. But just showing you what it looks like on the bodies. Pretty easy, and there you go. And here's the unmasked head on the Age of Ultron and the Winter Soldier body. So taking a closer look at Captain America here, just showing you the range of the head. You can look down that far, right there, and showing different angles, and up that much. You can see the back of the head kind of hits the neck right there. And no tilty shifty head movement, unfortunately. But moving the head from the side here, just give you some side profiles. So right there, right here, and so on and so forth. But moving over to the mask head sculpt, really, really nice attention to detail. You could see, looking underneath the nose here, you could see it's actually a piece that they laid on to this head sculpt right here. You can see if I push on it, you can see it kind of moves, so it is a separate piece, which I really like. Very nice attention to detail by Hasbro right there. Now you could see, comparing it with the unmask, it's pretty much the same head sculpt underneath there. It's just that the hair piece is removed. Speaking about hair, they actually added a little hair piece on the back as well. On some figures it might be a little bit down, but on mine it's perfect. And just quickly, you looking at the rest of this reused body, they should have reused the Infinity War one. Probably just added a star, sculpted in a star, and you're pretty much good to go. Fill up some patches, and yeah, but we still have this reused one. Now taking a closer look at Crossbones here, I removed his gauntlets and removed his vest here and added the unmasked head sculpt. So you can see amazing detail, very nice texturing here in the hair. See the 5 o'clock shadow, showing you the range here because I won't show it in the articulation part of this video. I'll be using the mask head sculpt for that articulation part. See the range that you can get on the head here. See right there, tilty shifty head movement. Yes, he can taunt Captain America, Black Widow, or any of the Avengers. So right there, side profiles if you want to. And moving outward, really weird torso. The range that you can get with this is kind of embarrassing. They should have used a hinge ratchety joint, but yeah, it's just sculpted weird. It's on a ball joint, so you could move forward and back, side to side. It does not rotate all the way around. It rotates side to side, but yeah, that's pretty much the range you're gonna get out of the torso. But looking at the waist here, you could see some wrinkles. Really nice attention to detail right there. Also on the back, looks like his shirt is tucked in, which is nice. Now the arms here, off, the gauntlets off. Very nice texturing details. See right there. And now putting on his vest here, you want to pop off the head, move the ball joint forward all the way. You want to move the left arm out up to 90 degrees. You want to take the vest here. Now the vest is just pegged on or held together by these little two two pegs right there and the peg holes, so you want to open that, slide the left arm in there, and you want to take this piece right here, the shoulder piece, and then you want to lift it over the neck area, and then you kind of want to wiggle it down like so. Then once you got that through the left arm, you can move the right arm out of the way and finally peg it on together. And putting on the mask head sculpt, that's what it looks like. Now putting on the gauntlets here. On the inside of the gauntlets there is an indication of R and L, so just put that to the corresponding arm and you're good to go. Now taking a look at Crossbones fully armored up here, you could see the mask. They actually underlaid a face and then put a mask over it, which is nice, and they did that with Captain America as well. Some scuffings over there. On the torso, very nice attention to details. Looks like there's magazines here and there, some pouches. And looking at the sides here, the paint is very clean and very accurate to the movie. Really like the scuffing here, the metallic paint that they used. And you could see there are some bullets or shotgun shells right there, and a couple of knives on his shoulder area, and some magazines on the other shoulder. Looking at the gauntlets here, really nicely painted. You can see the knuckles right there. Some straps, very clean. Now looking at the belt here, it's nicely sculpted as well and nicely painted, and it's clean. See the gun right here. I thought the gun was removable because the sculpt, it looks like they actually sculpted a gun and then just attached it there and glued it in and didn't make it an extra accessory. But yeah, that's quite unfortunate. Just looking at it from this angle, you can see it looks like they just put a gun right there and probably just glued it in. And looking at the rest of this suit or armor, it's just very detailed, and it's very cleanly painted. And he also has peg holes at the bottom of his feet. For Captain America's articulation here, starting off with the head, it does rotate all the way around. It can look up that far and down that much. Right there, has a tilty shifty head movement, just a little bit. Arms rotates all the way around. They go outward that far, more than 90 degrees. Inward that much. A bicep swivel, double jointed elbows here. The wrists here rotate all the way around. They bend up that far, down that much. Now the torso here bends forward that far. One click forward, one click back. Right there, waist rotation all the way around. Legs can kick forward that far, so we can sit down like so. And they can kick back just a little bit. Has a upper thigh swivel right there. Double jointed knees. He has a boot rotation, which rotates all the way around. Feet bend down that far, up that much. And he has an ankle pivot. And doing the ankle pivot test, this should be easy. He's good to go. Now moving over to Crossbones here, starting off with the head, rotates all the way around. It can look up that far. I skipped the tilty shifty head movement. I am so sorry. Looks down that much right there. The arms here do rotate all the way around. They go outward that much. So a little less than 90 degrees. He also has a bicep swivel right there, which doesn't rotate all the way around. It's kind of hindered. You can see right there by the magazine. Same thing on the other side. Trying to fix it right there. He also has some double jointed elbows, just showing you right there with the gauntlets on. That's what it looks like. So you can almost do a full bend. Still good range. Now taking a look at the wrist here, removing the gauntlets. Now the wrists here are on hinges as well, so they do rotate all the way around. They bend upward that far and down that much. Now putting him back the gauntlet on. It's pretty easy. Now the torso area, which I showed before, you can't really get any range because the vest is kind of made out of a hard plastic, but you can try. You could see you can get a little bit of range out of it. Some forward and back, side to side movement. He also has a waist rotation all the way around. Legs can kick forward that far, so he can sit down after a long day of crossboning. Okay, that sounded wrong. Back that much. Rotation, upper thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. Feet bend down that far. And up that much. He also, oh, there's the AC. Okay, he also has the ankle pivot. And doing the ankle pivot test, this should be no problem. Easy, he's good to go. So to get an even closer look, moving Captain America off to the side and Crossbones popping off his head, you could see that they actually added the face piece and then overlaid this mask over. And you could see, taking a closer look inside there, you can see the nose, the eyes. It's just amazing of the amount of detail that they went to achieve this look for this figure. Now, as I showed before, just looking underneath some of the nooks and crannies, rotating some of the joints, so how that looks and how that affects the articulation. See the wrist here, bending the elbows here. See inside the elbow right there. And bending both of them, you can see that's the range that you can get. Rotating the arm here, you can see how that hits the vest. Kind of hinders the full 360 of the bicep swivel, but you can see the waist rotation right here, how that looks. The legs here, moving it around, that's what it looks like. Now the knees here, bending the knees, it is terribly sculpted in this weird way. So when you bend the knees, it kind of leaves the outline of the sculpt of the knees, if that makes any sense. So you can see how it folds back. I wish there was another intuitive way of doing this, but I guess it's to accommodate more of the sculpt. So when you have it standing up, you could see some of these sculpting details, like the wrinkles in the pants here. But yeah, just looking at the feet, nothing much. His feet kind of look a little weird, a little bulky, but yeah. And the peg holes, so that's Crossbones. So yeah, that is it, guys. Hope you guys like it. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell, turn on notifications because there are more videos coming. I just found the Carnage from my local Target, so be on the lookout for that. Overall, I really do like this 2-pack. The only thing that makes it worth it is the Crossbones and the updated Chris Evans head sculpt, the mask and the unmasked version. If, oh my gosh, if Hasbro started with the mask and unmasked head sculpt using these two head sculpts starting from Age of Ultron or Avengers or whatever, man, I would have been so happy, because all the Captain Americas that I have in my collection are boring. They look nothing like Chris Evans up to this point. Hopefully some customizers out there take advantage and use this unmask and mask head sculpt to kind of color correct, so they could use it on their Age of Ultron, the first Avengers. If it fits, it doesn't fit, I don't know. Or the Winter Soldier. It works fine with Winter Soldier. The colors are a little bit accurate, but yeah, other than that, Crossbones is an amazing figure, amazing sculpt, amazing detail, great articulation. A little bit iffy on the torso, but yeah, the accessories pretty much basic as well. Just unmasked head sculpts and you get the shield. But what really makes it, like I said, is that Crossbones figure and the new Captain America unmasked and masked head sculpts. And also a nice addition, or a honorable mention, is the shield, how it's updated and more movie accurate, and the colors are nice. So yeah, that is it, guys. Hope you guys enjoy my 19-minute video. Arolf Mora, signing out. Peace.